shooting the shelf.
Good morning, shooters or shelfies or whatever you folks are calling yourselves. People, probably. It's time for Shooting the Shelf right here on the Just Shelve channel. It's a very good morning to all of you. Curtis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fan-frickin-tastic. That music gets me pumped up. So yeah, I'm ready.
It's catchy. It's catchy. I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like even more, not because it's our show, but I love when I show up at a convention and I hear like Len humming it. Yeah, that always makes my day. Yeah. So we got some folks in the chat.
We do. Let's see. We've got Blake, aka Recon Rage. We got Dave Orkin, Trey Watson.
Hold on. I want to point out Dave Orkin only responded commented 10 minutes before the show started, whereas
this
Blake
is true.
is like almost 8 hours early. So, you know.
Yeah. Good job, Dave. Joe Martinez out there. I had him on last week. That was a lot of fun. We got Dub3 out there. David Williams. David, I just sent you the link for our cartoon theme song show, which is back up on the internet. So yeah, check that out. Anybody else, OffWorld, they taken our show down, but it is back up there. So if you want to listen to cartoon theme song review, there it is. We have got Eddie out there. Eddie packaged up your spawn bat from Friday night, and it should be headed out tomorrow. My daughter's going to drop it off because I will be out of town. We've got Brian Lynn Carver Customs out there. We got Stacy Lynn. We got both the Lyns in the house. We've got Schmerberberger out there. We've got Santos Rivera. Santos, I got your Cobra Commander packaged up from last night, and that should be heading out tomorrow as well. I am TJ Williams. The H is silent. We've got Rob Zamora out there. The First 58. We got Stephanie Orkin. We got both Orkins in the house. Steph, I got your Crimson Guards packaged up. They should be going out tomorrow as well. Michael Morales. We've got Kevin McCoy. Legends Collector 1321. Not to be confused with the other 1320. Those guys, total posers. This is the real guy right here. We got him tonight. We've got Amber Gonzalez out there. JMax77. Mark Rivera. We got two of the Riveras in the house. And I think that's everything. So,
wait, did you say you've got the Riveras in your house?
We've got the Riveras in the house. This house.
Okay.
Shelf
so you
house.
don't
The shooting the shelf house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, man, that
I'm sure Tanya McCoy's out there too. I'm sure we do have both the McCoys, but right now I'm only seeing Kevin. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Very cool. Well, thank you all for being here. It's always fun to have folks hanging out with us because, you know, that's what the show's about. Just hanging out, having a good time, and talking to friends. So, yeah. Looks like Patrick Boyle just slipped in.
Ooh, nice. Rob, I do not have your package ready to ship out because you did not win anything, unfortunately. But if you show up on June 30th, we are doing a special show here for our 750 subscribers. We'll have Jordan Frazier on, and we are going to be giving away quite a few things. So tune back in on June 30th, and you may win some prizes there.
Yeah, so it's the 750 subscriber giveaway, and it's acting as the 2-year anniversary, a couple days late of the show. So yeah, looking forward to that in a couple weeks. But tonight we've got a very
we do have Tanya is watching on TV. So shout out to Tanya watching on TV. And apparently Joe is in my house somewhere. So the phone calls are coming from inside.
Good.
The house.
You should have gone there last week, Joe. Just
it would have been a much better connection. Yeah.
But hey, thank you for hanging in, Joe. I am really glad you hung in with us and stayed on the show because I thought it was a lot of fun getting to talk to you. I mean, we get to talk to you in the community.
And we got to see that cool cosmic bike that he's going to have at IshCon.
Not the community, the customizing studio, which you usually jump in on. So, but it was cool getting that more one-on-one, getting to know more about your stuff. in that regard. So if you missed last week's episode, go check it out. Bear with, there's only so much people can do about internet, depending on where folks live. But yeah, it was great having Joe on. But we do have.
Speaking of Joe's with internet, though, how about Joe Gonzalez's new internet connection?
He gun solved his problems.
He did gun solves his problem. Man, he looks good now. He is crystal clear.
Crisp and clean. That deserves being on an HD TV, not this scraggly mug. But anyway,
we will know what he looks like when we go to LegionsCon. We'll be like, "That's the guy." We won't be confused because his face isn't fuzzy.
Right. Depending on what time he shows up and how awake we are.
Yes, that's true too.
Yeah. But hey, before Curtis interrupts me again, or I interrupt myself again, which I just did, let's get our guest on tonight. We've got the one and only Dylan, Legends Collector 1321. Kurt, are you wearing a crown? Oh no, it's
me.
When you were sitting right there, it looked like a crown over your head your right. Yeah, down. There you go.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Oh, speaking of things on their head.
Oh my God. Please tell me you did not buy that just for the show.
I absolutely did.
Oh my gosh.
$12.99.
Welcome, Dylan.
Welcome, Dylan.
How you doing?
Can you say your last name for us?
Strichartz.
Strichartz. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Close.
I like getting the correct pronunciation, even if I never say it right again. I at least heard it.
The fans really want to know. 1321.
So I was actually gonna bring this up if you didn't.
Okay.
It's it's two numbers that have to do with Green Day.
Okay.
So Green Day's favorite band. The 13 is in the song 21st Century Breakdown. They say we are the class of 13.
Okay.
That's the year my brother graduated.
And
21 guns.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Gotcha. So it's not that there were 1,320 other Legends collectors. And
no.
Then you just got the next one.
But there is a Legends collector. And that confuses me all the time.
Gotcha. But he's a poser, is what we're saying.
What's going on, guys?
And
all right. Well, at the top of the show, we do a little thing called shelf selections where Jesse and I pull up some pictures that inspired us throughout the week. So we're going to pull up those pictures now and we're going to comment on them. Dylan, feel free to throw out any comments that you may have as well. And then we will get into the interview. So here we go. First picture for the week is from myself. This is parts_may_vary with this beautiful Mezco Robin picture. Put in the little behind the scenes as well on there. This thing is just fantastic. I wish that some of these lines really scaled better with each other, like the Mezco and Mafex and all that kind of stuff, because I really love this Robin, but he's a little too tall for some of the other, lines. But yeah, this thing is great. He's got, I just found this Instagram this week, and he's got some amazing pics. There was another one with the NECA turtles that we pulled up on OffWorld the other night. So yeah, check out this Instagram because his pictures are awesome. But this was the one I picked for this week.
This is an awesome shot. The way they've got the cape, posed in there with the wires and everything, it just really looks like the breeze is catching them. The fog or the smoke or whatever's coming off the building. This is an awesome shot. The lighting on it is great. Sometimes they do like photography or different things for like comic book covers. I could see this as an alternate cover for a DC comic. That would be really cool. And yes, Dorkler, I am repping the new Dorkler shirt.
I did get my shirt, but I do not have it on tonight. I've got my Charbot shirt. So
okay.
Charbots. Check Carver Customs if you need a Charbot. All right. Dylan, you got any comments on this one?
Fantastic shot. Makes me want the figure, but it doesn't really fit into my collection right now.
Yeah.
But pictures like this always make me want to get the figure in them.
It is a beautiful figure. If it was a little bit shorter, I would definitely get it and put it in with my Mafex Batman. But yeah. Next one is one of Jesse's picks.
So this is from our buddy Eric LeBron, aka Late Night LeBron over on Instagram. Went on kind of a little American monument tour. So he's got his Aes Cipitrion at what is it, Devil's Tower out. I don't know where this is. Montana, Colorado. I don't know, somewhere that way. No, that way from me. But yeah, it's just really cool. If you've ever seen what's that movie? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You know, it just seems it's an appropriate place for a cosmic alien shot, and it just looks really cool. And again, the scale, seeing mythic cosmic legions, figure obscura like out in nature is always one of my favorites. So yeah, I just thought this was a really cool shot.
A couple things. First, just to correct you on the name there, it's Orlando Cepeda is the name of the figure. And yeah, I'm really surprised that those mashed potatoes held up.
What did you say?
Orlando Cepeda is this character's name.
I don't know.
And yeah, those mashed potatoes are holding up really well for being out in nature. So great job there. LeBron, love that dude. He's awesome. Love when people bring their figures with them and go on trips and you know, especially nature shots. We love nature shots here. And this is a great one. Very, very epic and classic. I love the angle, you know, shooting upwards at it to get the whole thing in the picture. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm not craving mashed potatoes in any form ever.
Absolutely.
I said I'm not.
Oh yeah. I agree. We are. Dylan, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I love anything that has to do with grays. I've wanted a gray for as long as I can remember. There was a line from, I think it's Jean St. Jean or Jean St. Jean, something like that. He's a sculptor for a bunch of different companies. He did a line called Creature Replica. It's a bunch of Sasquatches and werewolves and stuff like that. And he teased a gray alien, and then it never came out, and the line just doesn't exist anymore. And then when this figure came out, instant home run, and this shot's exactly what I picture when I think of grays coming to Earth.
Yeah, it's a great shot, and it sounds like Eric had a great vacation, and that's awesome. Yeah. Next one is one of mine. This is a good friend of the show, Vonnie_Rotten. Great picture of this, the new Illidan, not Illidan figure due to licensing rights. Yeah, I mean, I love this figure. I got it behind me here, and he just did an amazing shot. I think this is absolutely glorious. As a, you know, longtime World of Warcraft player, this character is just so epic, and to get it in figure form is really fun. And he just nailed this picture. He was talking about kind of, you know, as he's taking the picture of it, you know, you really want to try to get the whole thing in with the wings, but it's just so massive. So he did this like up close shot, and I think it works very well.
This is a toy.
Yes.
Yeah, this is great. You know, I think the effects, the lighting, the pose, it just gives that really good, you know, heroic shot, not of like just that great, you know, hero. Like if this was like a movie poster, you know, showing off who the bad guy is of the movie or something, that would be absolutely perfect. It's a very cool shot, very cool looking figure.
Yep. Dylan?
I'm jealous when people can take pictures like that. I have no skills outside of posing and maybe lining up a shot, and seeing stuff like this just drives me crazy.
Yeah, he absolutely nailed it. Back to Jesse's point, like I could totally see this as an advertisement for, you know, some sort of expansion with World of Warcraft. It's just an amazing shot. So, all right, next one is from Jesse.
Wait, hold on, go back to that.
Okay.
Liam Cunningham voiced him in which? Please clarify, Joe. You can send it to me in the message or just here in the chat. I'm curious. I guess I could just look it up, but all right.
Okay. You are not prepared, Jesse. That's one of his famous lines from the. Never mind.
Hmm.
Here we go. Go ahead, Jesse.
So this I can't read it. Darth Dondada. On Instagram, I saw this. I saw it in the Mythic Legions Cabal first, and I already forgot. I was like, I always try to find the Instagram version if I can, and I already have forgotten who the name is. So if anyone knows, feel free to hit that in the chat. But I just love this shot, like the layers, the ranks of the goblins, the orcs, the ogre, the trolls. Just the impure. I thought was really cool, and seeing Urxa on a horse just was cool. I have her with one of the D20 wolves, so seeing her on a horse was a cool, different visual that I hadn't had, and I absolutely love this shot. It feels like the orc army moving into action, and yeah, it's just really cool.
Oops, didn't mean to click that. It's I just pulled it up, and it's Sharif Joseph on Instagram.
That's right.
And I'm actually surprised you pulled up this one, because 2 shots next to it was a She-Hulk pumping iron on the beach. So yeah, I'm interesting that you pulled up this one. But I love me some Queen Urxa. I think she's amazing. I have kind of upgraded some of her armor and added some fur to her and stuff, but I love the character. I believe that's a headless horseman horse that she's on there with the red eyes there. So that's cool. And yeah, just seeing like the mix of with the ogre and a couple orcs and the goblins and the troll, like just that whole mix of scale all within this one shot is really cool. I like it a lot.
Very cool. Yeah. It's all the scales, all the yeah, love it. Love it.
Yeah. I've been trying to play with different scales in pictures and layering and all that stuff lately. It's real difficult to get it right. And this is fantastic. It drew me as soon as I saw it in the Cabal. And I would get that as a print.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Looks like it's from a movie.
Yeah, totally. Next one is and I had to throw in this is my sneaky way of throwing in extra picks so that Jesse doesn't yell at me. But these are both from Skelosoria for this week. He actually since has done another one of these shields. He did the Xylona one, which also came out fantastic. But these two I saw earlier in the week, taking these faction shields that are just massively heavy and repainting them a way to really make them pop. They're coming out so good. I mean, Skelosoria is just so talented. I know there's, we've talked about a lot of his stuff over the past few weeks, and Blaze Bear is another one. I saw one from Blaze today that he did a wolf head. It was just so amazing. But yeah, these things are killer, and just the amount it makes you, when you see a repaint like this, it makes you realize how much detail is put into the sculpt on these things. Just seeing it painted up a different way. And yeah, he did a fantastic job. I love these so much.
Yeah, I think, not to get on a soapbox, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's totally fine. But I think seeing repaints, even if it's not a studio official repaint, but just the way some of the fans customize stuff, just shows you how, like you were saying with the details, how diverse and how different you can make these same things look. I might have to put shots of the befores next to these. I might have to do like a 4-square for this one, just to show them off. Because I think it totally transforms those shields. They like I know my brain knows they're the exact same, like what they are, but they look so different.
Yeah, and, I mean that Arethyr one especially, it's so good.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the one that we got is basically kind of all black, really.
Yep.
And so yeah, to put all this detail and color in it, man, it's awesome. So
Like,
he's killing it, doing some great stuff. He's been doing a lot of stuff with kind of mixing and matching like Savage Crucible and Mythic too. That's been coming out great. But yeah, he's just doing some great stuff, and also a great dude. Met him a couple times now, saw him at Legion's Con this past year, and yeah, just really good dude as well.
Yeah. I could just gush over these all day. I'll let Dylan say something now.
Yeah, those look like that's how they're meant to be. Like, I love the metal look that they have, but something about specifically Arethyr and the way that the fire looks and the ears and the horn, it looks like he's coming out of the shield, like through a portal from hell or something. And it looks like that's how it was designed.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like it's meant to be like this. Like this is the way it was supposed to be. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of these faction shields down the road in different paint schemes, kind of like this.
That'd be really cool.
I mean, even just the black backing, like that kind of satin finish or whatever it is on the back of the Laosair shield, like that just totally transformed like the back of the shield, not like because it's got that, was it gold and red or silver and red on the shield itself, like behind the sculpted head on it. It just totally transformed. I see that as like, this elite guard or something for Attila.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't often like try to recreate things that I see other people do. But I think especially the Arethyr one, maybe both of these, but the Arethyr one for sure, I'm going to have to try to recreate this look for mine because it's just too good. So
there's a part of me that sees the Arethyr one as after the Second Great War and someone mounted Arethyr's head on their shield as a warning. Like I just that's the vibe I'm getting for. I like Dylan's take on it coming out of a portal. I think that's really cool. Just the weird dark side of me that comes out every now and then sees that as his actual severed head on that shield.
That's awesome.
It's like they just put him there. He's conscious and everything, but he can't do anything. He's just stuck there.
Right.
Just yelling at everybody.
It's kind of like whatever the clown in One Piece.
Yeah.
If anyone's watched the live action.
Or do you what was that show? Evil Con Carne? The brain in the bear.
Don't know that, but now I want to go to.
It was like
El Rodeo.
The same people that did the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It's like an evil scientist's brain in the body of a bear, and he's always yelling at people, and the bear is just standing there looking dumb.
Is it his voice, or is the bear just roaring?
No, it's the guy's voice. Coming out. I forget if it's on his head or if it's like in its stomach in a tank.
Okay.
But it's this. I think it's a purple bear, and it just has this look on its face, and the evil scientist's brain is just yelling the whole time.
That's funny.
Here is Jesse's next. Well, here's Jesse's next one.
I was going to say.
I guess I was too early on the She-Hulk. So.
Yeah. So it's not the same shot, and man, I can really not read. Is that
616 features
on Instagram?
Yep.
And this is the new She-Hulk, the new Marvel Legends She-Hulk on the Iron Man retro card with oh man, I always forget her name from Action Force Valaverse. I can't remember her name, but anyway, I just thought, yes, yeah. Juno
right? Or Eclipse?
No, Eclipse has the dark hair.
Okay, so then,
or no, wait,
I got no frame of reference. So
Pandora. Rob said it.
Pandora. Yes, Pandora.
And Kevin said it.
Juno Eclipse is the other one of the other female characters, and I think her anyway. So yeah, this is Pandora. And I mean, it's G.I. Joe. She's a bad guy. So like seeing like She-Hulk, like that gun comes with She-Hulk, but it looks like she's crunching up Pandora's gun. And I can't tell if Pandora's like, she looks like she's okay with it. I don't know. It just struck me as a fun picture. I never would have thought to put these two characters together, but I just thought this was really cool. Warpath Eclipse. Thank you, Kevin. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of, not Juno Eclipse. I don't know where I'm coming up with these words. But yeah, I just thought this was a fun shot.
Yeah, I mean this is cool.
What's Juno Eclipse?
I
she's from Star Wars. Sorry.
I love the background here. You've got what looks to be like a U.S. postal mailbox behind them, and then the wall and the street light and stuff, and just the whole background scenario to this is cool. And then the shot with the her breaking the gun and looking at her, like it looks like they're both happy about the situation. So I don't know what's going on there. It's weird. But it's a nice little shot there.
Yeah. And the turned over motorcycle or whatever in the background. And I could be mistaken. I very often am, but I have a mailbox that's about that size. It was actually like a stamp dispenser.
Oh, nice.
That I planned on weathering up and everything, but it's just in my turtle display right now.
What's the stuff in the front? Is that like just like a duffel bag or something?
Yeah, it looks like a duffel bag and some money. It looks like she stopped it because it looks like there's a Chase Bank in the background, and
that makes it even more funny that they've got like happy looks on their face. It's like, you got me.
Yeah.
I tried,
Yeah. I mean, I know She-Hulk is definitely an actual smile, and Pandora has the what do they call it? The what's the where the lips are cut?
She has a Chelsea grin.
Chelsea grin. Thank you.
Gotcha. Nice. Anything on this one, Dylan?
Like we were talking about before, I want that She-Hulk figure now.
Yeah.
And I forgot she comes with that gun, so that's really cool. And I've tried to stay away from Valaverse, just because I know if I get into it, it's gonna be another thing that takes over my house. So I'm trying not to, but pictures like this and putting everything together, you want everything.
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah, I have Pandora and the Warpath Eclipse. They're the only two Valas I have, just because I thought they looked like really cool looking characters.
And then my last one for the day. This is EDR_images on Instagram. We were talking earlier about kind of comic book-esque shots. This is definitely like right off of the comics from like the 80s. I could totally see this as a comic book cover. This is the new Nightfall Batman from Mafex, and man, they killed this thing. It looks so good. I actually had several shots from different Instagram photographers this week, and I was trying to narrow down because I didn't want to just do 4 pictures of Batman. But this figure is so good, and I've seen a lot of great poses and great shots with it. This one is the one that really struck me, and especially with that the old Batman logo down in the corner, totally hit me in the member berries, and it looks great.
Well, as soon as you pulled this up, I heard the sound effect from the old show. The when this symbol comes up. I can't really tell. The picture's kind of small on my screen, but the articulation on the knee looks really cool. As far as double jointed, it looks like a knee. It looks like a knee, not like 2 pieces of leg with a piece of macaroni in the middle. It's really nice design. What would you say this was, the Mafex?
This is the Mafex. I did want to pull this up from Kevin. It says San Diego Comic-Con McFarlane Nightfall is absolute best in my opinion. I will agree that McFarlane's done a billion Batman, and I think the Nightfall one that he's done, there's a few different versions. The San Diego Comic-Con one is a little bit darker and has kind of the black tones mixed in with the blue. Then he did the regular kind of Nightfall release. That character looks really good, and I think I showed it off a few weeks ago on OffWorld, and I was I was debating about and then ended up canceling my Mafex because it was so good. And then I started seeing all this toy photography of the Mafex one and had to go back in and purchase it after I canceled my order. Because I need this too. Like, I thought I could be satisfied with the McFarlane one because the McFarlane one is really good. But man, I've seen some really cool stuff with this, and I had to have this one in my collection as well. So
very cool. Yeah. Really fun shot. It hits that line right between comic, reality, and even like some of the buildings give me like vibes from the cartoon. So it's a really cool, hitting a lot of as you said, what did you say? Member berries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan, you got anything on this one?
I'd just be repeating what you said.
All right.
I have the blue Hush,
and
that's a fantastic figure too.
Yeah.
But this one looks really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Mafex has done a couple different Batmans now, and they've killed it on all of them, and this is just another one to add to that. Kevin also said he'd like to put the soft goods on the McFarlane one. I bet that would look awesome. The McFarlane one does come with like a vinyl type cape. I actually like that cape too. It's not soft goods, it's not wired, but that cape, it's got a real good flow to it on the McFarlane one, and it's got a nice feel to it that also hits me in kind of the nostalgia from the old Pocket Hero Mego. But anyway, amazing. I love this. I've got it over there waiting to be opened. I thought about taking it on my trip with me this week, but I'm actually going to take the Mafex Spider-Man instead to give me something to open and play with on the road, so I don't get bored. But I don't want to. I got to stretch it out, man. I don't want to. Yeah, that would be like everything that I have to open right now. I gotta stretch it out.
Tell me about
Necronominus is coming soon, right?
That's true. And then this is the last one for the day. This is one of Jesse's picks.
So this is Jurassic_Jesse over on Instagram, and this is the Sphexian mine worker from Outpost Zaxius, one of my favorite figures in that wave. And I just thought, the way this is staged with like the dust and the debris from like the mine or whatever he's working in, I thought was really nice. And just letting the kind of the pale white tones of the exposed part of the creature show. I think the black on the suit has a lot of really cool subtle shifts between like the semi-gloss and the matte and the different finishes on that, but letting the creature just really stand out makes me feel like something in a movie where you would see them coming out of the dark mine, and the first thing you would really see is the white of their skin tone or carapace or whatever. So I just thought this was a really cool shot.
Yeah, I have not gotten my Zaxius yet. It should arrive this week while I'm out of town, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm looking forward to opening all of the figures. But the Miner, I think, is one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most, just because I hear from folks that it's so much better when you get it in hand, that it's not just that one solid black color, that the kind of the differences in the black really pop when you get it in hand. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. And I see Doak is saying this picture makes him look highly intelligent. I think the Sphexians are one of my favorite races from Cosmic at this point. I mean, the first two were prison guards, so I'm not as interested in them. But these miners, like the whole story, how they say like they have this clicking type song that they do, kind of. I don't know. It's just I'm intrigued to see more about the different varieties of Sphexians. So yeah, well, see, there you go. Take your Spider-Man and your Batman, and you'll have Zaxius when you get back.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It's been taking a little bit. Dylan, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, this looks like it's from Alien from 1979, 78, 79.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. The fog, the colors, the whatever filters on it looks incredible. And I just picked up this guy from Chubsy Wubsy the other day.
Oh, nice.
I haven't opened it yet, and everything you said about the paint scheme and this everything everyone's saying, you don't get it until you see it in your hand. and that could be said about everything that Four Horsemen do. But it really does look like something special. And going off of what Doak said, there's something about the miners that maybe it's the story and knowing the story before the figure came out, but there's something about the miner specifically that makes it feel so different and more intelligent than the guard and the other one and the block commander.
That's fair.
I mean, I only know one miner, and that's Joe Gonzalez, and yeah, he's very intelligent and good looking. So, you know, if that's true of all miners, then there you go. Like, we can apply that to this Phyrexian as well. So
Joe saying he needs a hard hat and a lunchbox.
Yeah, and he needs to complain to his union rep. So, well, that is it for shelf selections, but we do have something else that we want to pull up here and talk about. So recently in the community, we did suffer a loss. We lost a good friend, Ralph Mouse, in the community, passed away, and Carver Customs and Cullen Culp are working on a raffle thing for his family. So, you know, a lot of people are donating prizes of this. If you're interested in donating something, you can reach out to Brian Lynn or to Cullen Culp, and they will, you know, take your information and kind of go from there. But I'm going to pull up some stuff. So first of all, this is a picture of Ralph. He's going to be missed in the community as well as at Legion's Con this year. And then as far as the giveaway goes, we're just going to show some of the things that we've got. So we've got these two figures. Well, first of all, let me say, for as far as donating, currently they've got donations from David Williams, Shooting the Shelf, Wolf King Customs, Dang Studios, Detour Customs, John Caulfield from the Euro Legions, Mark Calvo, Raging Ogre Studios, as well as Carver Customs. So more details will be coming on this soon. It sounds like maybe on Tuesday they'll be posting something. And then this will go through the 30th of this month, and then they'll be doing a wheel for these prizes. So not sure how much the entries are going to be for this. You know, typically in the past, they've been like $5 per, but I don't know for sure. I guess we'll see. And, you know, Cullen will have that information out as of Tuesday. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But so far we've got these two here, these two figures. So we've got some mythic, some cosmic. We've got one of these new staff lights from Carver Customs, as well as one of these Dio pieces. Got these heads there. It looks like we got some 3D renders, but it looks like we'll be getting these heads. I'm not sure if those are each individually a prize or if that's for the set. You've got this full custom on the left is one of the prizes. And then you've got one of the Phyrexians on the right is also a prize. Some spell effects from Detour. And then the last prize is that we have currently is this from the game, the Where the Aether Blade. This is the Orc Kickstarter one. And this is the one with the bonus head. So it does have that frog helmet as well as the other 4 heads with it. Really great pack with a lot of parts in it. So it's going to be a lot of prizes. It's going towards a good cause. All that's going to be donated to his family. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, you know, try to help out because, like I said, it's for a good cause. And who knows, you could win something as well. Mm-hmm. So, and guess Dub says I'll have to get a hold of Cullen to donate. Absolutely, yeah. My understanding from Brian is they are still taking donations if people want to. So reach out to Brian Lynn or reach out to Cullen, and they can take that information from you. And then be on the lookout Tuesday in the Cabal for more about the actual giveaway. So, all right, Jesse, thoughts on that?
I mean, it's. I know I joined the Cabal right after.
Justin Johnson.
Justin passed. And, coming into the group and just seeing how everybody kind of rallied around support for the family and everything was a really big impression on me as to what I was getting into. I was already impressed with what I saw at Legion's Con 21. And then that just really cemented that this was going to be a good place to be, reach out if you've got stuff to donate to Cullen or Brian. And, like Curtis said, keep your eye out for these things. And it's always hard, like, because, it's always hard when we lose someone, depending on how well connected you were or not to that person,
Mm-hmm.
But, that's a loss. And I don't know. I'm mumbling over my words because my brain's trying to think too hard of.
You're good. I mean,
things,
I think, we had a nice little discussion at MesquiCon this year that, that event is a little bit, it has kind of that Legion's Con feel to it, like the toy show / family reunion, but it's also a little bit more intimate setting to where you can spend some more time, get to know people. And I think there's just, like you said, the community is so warm and welcoming, and we try to take care of one another. And just make sure you take those opportunities, whether it's at Legion's Con, one of these, Maryland Toy Expo or Heroes Con or Joe Fest or, whatever. Take the opportunity to get to know these folks in the community, because there's some really great people here. And yeah, it's hard when we lose one, but, you just gotta, look out for one another and be there. So, but I am looking forward to Legion's Con and, as many people as I've met and spent time with over the past 2 years, I know that I'm going to meet some new ones at this upcoming year, and, take that time to get to know people, because you just never know. So,
well, speaking of getting to know people, we've got our guest, Dylan, Legends Collector 1320 numbers, sitting down here, where, oh wait, I clicked the wrong thing. That wasn't supposed to be a ticker. That's supposed to be a banner.
You silly Jesse.
I'm such a silly Jesse.
You are silly Jesse.
At Legends Collector 1320.
I'm actually going to turn this lamp off because it's bothering the shit out of me.
Okay. Well, I mean,
all right.
As long as you're wearing your brown pants.
I'm not.
Uh-oh.
I'm wearing pants. I just have to.
Oh, okay. You turned off your camera. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, while Dylan's dealing with his technical troubles of his bright light, I'm going to stall and just say words
bright light
about how cool it is to hang out with Dylan. He's gotten to be in a couple of the customizing studios, but I personally have gotten to hang out with him at a couple of shows. It's always cool. Dylan, you can correct me when I'm wrong. You can correct me when I'm wrong, because I will be wrong. But I think the first time I really remember hanging out with you was at ToyCon New Jersey in December.
Yes.
You were hanging out at the Wolf King table a bit, and there was that whole weird situation with the ladies at the lunch truck. I don't even remember, something about pickles.
Oh yeah, no.
There was this whole weird thing going on there that had you laughing, and then
but you ordered a cheesesteak, and you didn't know if there was cheese on it.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Good times.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, like they were very friendly ladies working the food truck that was at that show. Just cracking jokes with everybody. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And then of course the Iron Man mask. For those of you who saw the beginning of the episode and have not heard the story already, at ZoloCon this past year, so in the beginning of the year, at like the end of February, the Wolf King booth, the way it's set up, the window that I was working out of, straight across from me, like across the room, it was an Iron Man toy mask. And it was just set up in the certain way that it just looked like it was making eye contact with me the whole time. And I guess at one point I was staring back, like right into its empty sockets. And Dylan was like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And it's turned into a thing. He's made a couple of memes with the Iron Man face all over it.
So you were mesmerized by Iron Man?
I wasn't like it felt like he was trying to pick a fight with me, and it's like I can take you. You're just a mask, but you know,
Iron Man doesn't want to fight you, Jesse. He loves you 3000.
I mean, his daughter loves him 3000. I don't know if he loves me 3000.
Iron Man definitely loves you, Jesse. You're very lovable. I don't know anybody who doesn't love Jesse.
Well, enough about me. So Dylan, tell us a little bit of your story. Like how,
Okay.
I mean, like, words. How did you get into Legions? Like what drew you into Legions, or just collecting in general?
So my timeline is probably a little mixed up. So either of you might be able to help me with that.
All right.
So I had seen them for years from, Pixel Dan or D Amazing or probably even Dorklair before I knew who Dorklair was.
Okay.
The first figure I got was either Krampus or Bryophytus. I don't remember which one actually came out first.
Bryophytus came out first.
When he was released with the pre-order for the wave, not the exclusive.
Bryophytus?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he would have been
in All-Stars.
Yeah, he would have been what is it? What do they call it? Debut figure. He would have debuted at PowerCon, but then came out later.
So when they put up the pre-order for that All-Stars, I saw, oh cool, Mossman, and I pre-ordered it. So I don't remember
a good long while. That pre-order went up over a year before Krampus came out, I believe. Because that Mossman was already out. I think like people were getting him in hand by the time I joined.
Okay.
In 21.
So I got that first and didn't open it because I was afraid the flocking was going to end up all over the place. Because I don't remember what figure, but whatever flocked figure I got before that, the flock ended up all over my house. But so I kept that in the box, and then at some point I opened him, and I don't remember if that was before or after Krampus. It must have been after, and it was kind of just like, oh yeah, I have this in the box just sitting here, so I'm going to open it and play with it because that's what you're supposed to do with them. And then after that, I think it was not until Headless Horseman did I first actually dive in.
Okay.
Because then I got Headless Horseman, and then I went to a store not too far from me, Zap Comics. I don't know if you've ever been there, Jesse.
I was there after the 21 Legions Con.
Okay, yeah. So they had Voligar 1 and a Fury Orc for like $30 for both of them.
Oh wow.
Loose, missing a couple of things maybe, but I was like, oh, I have some of these at home, so let me grab them. And I was first starting to get in, and then Alithia came out.
Okay.
So the day of, I guess it was Legions Con 22 when Necronominus was announced.
Yes.
I was at the old location for Shubsy Wubsy, and I bought like half of that wave, and it's been downhill ever since.
You mean uphill?
Yes.
Wait, what's going on? Oh, so they're making jokes in the chat. I was like, PG-13. What did we say? And it's all that flocking talk out there.
So you're located on the East Coast, and it sounds like you get to go to quite a few shows. Which ones have you attended this year so far?
So this year, I've done a bunch of the like Wayne toy shows, and I know that at least Joe Vastapolo is at a bunch of those with the table. So I've seen him a bunch of times there. And then when they do Toy Con, I did the Toy Con in December, and then they did one not too long ago, and I went to that one. And the Horsemen were there. And then Zolo and Lehigh, I think, were the only other two.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't get up to what was it, Shop the Curiosity?
Oh yes, I did.
You did? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I did that.
Will you be coming to RetroCon in September?
Probably.
Cool.
Nice.
That's becoming a really fun show. Like I went 2 years ago Sean and I went just to go, and then last year I went and helped Len with the Wolf King and his first street team for the Horsemen. And that was really cool. So I'm really looking forward to that again this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to plan for that because I know the next Toy Con is in September also, but I would prioritize whatever one the Horsemen are going to be at, unless they're at both.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be street team at I think Len, unless something changes, I believe it's going to be Len doing a street team at Retro.
Well, then I'll change my answer to wherever you guys are going to be, because I'll just hang out with you guys.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a fan out there, Guaisagway, saying that your posing skills are on point.
Thank you, G. Little background. Posing's like my number one thing with figures.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of pride myself on that. And I'm not prideful enough to like make that a point. And I was at Chubsy Wubsy for his Christmas party last year. And someone started live streaming, and all of these people on Instagram were like, who the fuck is this guy? And where'd he come from? And Machu was like, where'd he come from? I've never seen him before. And that's all, all this stuff. And I don't know how to take any of that because I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
But, Chubsy has his pictures either on my Instagram or the store Instagram for Chubsy Wubsy, has this big diorama of like a street. With it's like a 2-story building with a fire escape and everything.
Yeah.
And I'll just go in there whenever I'm there and I'll just pose figures on it. And that's what I'll do for 6 hours.
Nice.
So every time I'm there, they're always saying, oh, this person knocked this over, so now you have to fix it. And I work there for free, basically.
Gotcha.
Well, let's bring, I believe this is what you're talking about.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I got to open that Galactus that day. And within 10 minutes, he was like that with, you can kind of see it. That's Michael Jordan dunking on him. I think I zoomed in at some point.
That's great.
Okay. And it's a little different now. I know there's a couple of, you can see the demon there on the tree.
That's cool.
The D13. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I love that you've got this motorcycle like coming down the side of the fire escape.
I didn't think that was going to work because I don't know if it's 3D printed or he took a bunch of plastic and glued it together when he made it. But the guy that made the Dio, that fire escape, is the most flimsy thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
And that's a Toy Biz bike, and that thing is heavy. But I have it hooked on with the kickstand. It's on one of the rungs of the fire escape.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, the posing is great. I'm going to scroll up here. I love it's. I think it's a video spin, but I love this Kong on Godzilla.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
like
that's great.
Thanks.
I think it's one. You're talking about this. I think this is something I've always in my mind been like, oh, those are really cool poses. I don't think I fully appreciated how cool they are. When you shared this, I thought this was really cool. Like it's just got this like kind of,
thank you.
It sounds cheesy to say this, but it kind of has this like come at me, bro, but like in a more like deadly vibe.
Yeah.
And I really dig that.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so you've been in with Legions. There's the Euro boys.
Yep. Legions Con last year. My surrogate 3 fathers.
What were you collecting other things before you like stumbled into Legions? Like, I mean, yeah.
So I've been collecting my entire life, pretty much. It started with Rescue Heroes, if you remember Rescue Heroes. In the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. It was this Fisher Price toy line.
Oh, yeah.
I would basically, it's like modern adventure people, I guess.
Yeah.
Is how I would describe it. My brother and I had 2 of everything because we would fight over them. We had 2 of the command centers, which were at the time probably like $50 each, but now would be $3,000 HasLab or whatever.
Yeah, right.
We had 2 of everything because we would fight over it, and so it started with that, and no one ever stopped me.
Okay.
So now I have so much, and then from there, kind of went to big part of my whole being is King Kong and gorillas and all that, as you can see from my Instagram and anytime we've spoken in person that gets brought up at some point. But so that was the next one, and I had the old McFarlane Movie Maniacs King Kong that came
on the platform.
On the platform, yeah. I don't know if you could see it from here, but actually my head is in the way. You can't see hold on, where's my finger? In here, it's in there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to carry that Kong by the arm everywhere to the point where the arm, it didn't just break. The whatever, I guess, sonic welding that they did on the plastic came undone. It didn't just break. Like I put so much wear on it that it just split.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
And it came out, and it was still able to pop on and off, so I would play with it like that. And I think now I have 3 of them. Because every time I see one at a show for a decent price, I'll pick it up.
I need to get another one. I had one for the longest time, and I pared down a bunch of collection, and then I got into Funkos, so Funkos took over, and I regret getting rid of that big.
I could probably help you out with one.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say you regret getting into Funko.
No, I still like Funko. I don't like. I mean, that was
me too.
It was a weird problem, but yeah.
Yeah.
I regret you getting into Funko.
I'm happier I'm into Legions than I was into Funko, but I'm still happy with the Funkos I still have.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
I had a ton of the ad icons, so like the cereals and all. I wish I would have kept those, but I was really desperate for some money at one point, and short of going out on the street, selling off those was my, yeah.
Oh, like living on the street?
No, like going down to the street corner.
Oh,
or selling organs.
Okay.
Organs.
Gotcha.
I'm making a dirty joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I was like, "There's no way that Jesse's doing that." So
I make dirty jokes.
Yeah, Funko was an interesting thing for me too, because Funko was never the thing I was collecting, but I was always collecting Funko, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it was always ancillary to everything else.
The thing I liked about Funko was when I was collecting figures and stuff in the early 2000s and everything, I had, even later, I had, like the Iron Man from the first Iron Man movie, but he didn't scale with the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like everything, the scale was all off. So I had to really like do my display really weird, and then I'd have like nothing looked right. And I hated that scale thing. So I was clearing out a bunch of stuff. I didn't get rid of stuff to buy Funko. I was getting rid of stuff and then eventually got into the Funkos. But I liked that the Funkos were all like, they were all like the same size. Like there was something about it that, if I got a character from Iron Man and put it next to a character from Star Wars or Pirates of the Caribbean, like they were all like, they fit in scale for the most part, unless they were, the weird size characters or whatever. But,
that actually, I was the guy that would open them when I would get them at first. So I have the Skull Island Kong open, sitting on top of one in the box.
Nice.
Because I ended up with 2, and I regret opening the ones that I did, because now I can't really display them with the rest of them.
90% of mine were opened.
Yeah.
But I saved all the boxes.
Oh, okay. So that would have been smart. But at the time, I was like, I don't need the boxes for these. And now I have probably 75 of them. But I try to keep it themed. I have all of the Krampus ones, because Hot Topic had a line Well, it wasn't just Hot Topic, but Hot Topic had the most of them. It's just a palette swapped Krampus, and that's why I like the figure so much.
I got the frozen one where he was the blue
the
and
blue
white
one. Yeah. I actually, in my car, FYE used to have those Funko's cereal boxes.
Yep.
And there was one of those with the frozen Krampus as a keychain.
Oh, okay.
And that's hanging on my mirror in the car.
Nice. I have my Saga Lion Cat in my car.
Oh, nice.
Looks like we got a super chat from moderator Curtis Ackerman.
Wow, what is that?
Don't use this on Funko. I won't. Like I get it. They're not for everyone. And part of my problem was like I'd go into a Hot Topic or somewhere else and it'd be like, buy 2 get 1 half off. Like there was always a deal, so I always ended up with more than I wanted.
Yeah.
I've cut a lot back. Like I had close to 1,000 at one point.
You know,
I still have more than 75, but
yeah, as a collector, personally, they're not really for me anymore. I do still buy some. I got the whole Godzilla X Kong set because King Kong and Godzilla.
Sure.
It hurts me when I have to buy them because I feel like I have to. But as a collector, seeing people that aren't collectors collecting Funko, it's always like it makes me feel good for that person because they wouldn't be collecting something otherwise.
Yeah. Like for me, it started. My mom, she brought home a Yoda and a Darth Vader, and like I didn't really know what they were. I think I had seen them in the bookstore or something, but like it just. I was thinking of I forget who made them. Was the blockies or whatever? Where it was kind of the more rounded.
Yeah.
It was a little more like geometric shaped bodies. They had like Transformers and Star Wars, where they just
probably
had like
Hasbro.
They kind of had like the Lego shape, like the clip hands. You know, they would slightly articulate, but.
Is that Loyal Subjects? That might have been Loyal Subjects or one of those.
Curtis is like, please talk about.
Yeah, I think we're losing Curtis.
No, I'm just in my head. I'm thinking about like the plastic pellets that get melted down to make this stuff, and I'm thinking, like if I was a plastic pellet, right, and I'm hanging out with my fellow plastic pellet friends, and I hear that we're being sent to be made into toys, and I would be like excited because you could be made into like the plastic thing that holds like the cake on the toilet or something, and you don't want that, but you hear you're going to be made into a toy and you're like, yes, like I'm being made into a toy, and then they send you to the Funko factory, and yeah, I mean probably want to hold the toilet cake. So
I don't want to hold up the conversation, but hi, Brian. Thank you for watching.
Curtis clearly does not enjoy Funko, and that's okay. I'm not trying to sell him on them by any stretch of the imagination. I will say one last thing on the Funkos. The thing I like the most, and that I still have, I like their kind of IP stuff, their original stuff. I know they steered away from the name, but they used to call them Spastic Plastic. Which came from like their earlier line of like the bobbleheads. They had like the Wacky Wobblers, which is how Funko started, was making Bob's Big Boy bobbleheads, like actual bobbleheads, not the Funko style bobbleheads. And but they were all kind of like kind of 50s, I know it's not rockabilly, but it kind of had that vibe. So you had like some like these little like green gnome goblin guys that were like, like a pit crew for a car. And then there was like some sort of like butcher that was a pig with like a leg of lamb or something on a plate. And it was just like, it's kind of all this like weird kind of stuff you'd find in like a weird spot. And I wish that stuff was still more prevalent, but because I just think they were kind of fun. The really, really weird ones. But what now?
Remember, they started with Reaction was Funko at first. Now it
was. Yep.
Doke says, I have all the Funko Game of Thrones that I'm afraid to open now because I have heard they're made out of the toilet cake plastic.
Specifically,
very possible.
905 super chat from Darla Ackerman. Curtis has been known to buy Funko for me. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
She likes those mini ones. Those are okay because those are cute. I
do remember you have a couple of those little blind box ones that you're kind of.
Those are all hers. Oh, but yeah, they are cool though. Yeah, she's got
And,
some Marvel and stuff like that. So,
like I said, I'm definitely Legions is my jam now. Pretty much the only Funko I get anymore is if they do like another version of Ahsoka or another version of Rogue from X-Men. Like I'll buy those. That's pretty much it at this point. I do have the giant like 10-inch Kong and Godzilla from Godzilla versus Kong.
I don't have those.
I
kind of want them.
The neon
colors, yeah.
The Walmart colors, yeah.
I have the big ones that just came out for this movie.
Oh, cool.
And I have all of the Kongs for Godzilla versus Kong, and I think I have one of the Godzillas. When those were coming out, I was like, there's too much other stuff. I don't need them. And then these came out at the perfect, like, dull moment for everything that I was collecting, where I just grabbed them all when that movie came out.
I had two of the original Godzillas, the black and white one, where it was just gray with black eyes, and then I had the glow in the dark where the spines and the eyes lit up, but I sold those off. But yeah,
that one's cool. See, like those ones I like because they don't just look like a Funko Pop.
Yeah,
like the Kong without the eyes, this could just be a cartoony looking gorilla.
Sure,
it's just the big black eyes.
Kind of like
I just wanted to pull this up so that people know what we were talking about. These are the ones that Darla was talking about. These little tiny, like she loves Doctor Strange. That's like her. That's her boy. So anyway, but that doesn't really count. They're like little tiny ones. Anything tiny is cute, you know.
Yeah,
so
they sell those.
I think tiny toilet cake holders would be cute. So
many brands will probably do it.
I love what is it? That line, that toy line, like the world's smallest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are great.
I have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah, I have some of the mini Ninja Turtle ones they put out when Mutant Mayhem came out.
$1.99 super chat from Ken Pool. Bonus Godsfire update, my steward. I'm going to say the same thing I said the other night. Godsfire announcements were said to come this summer. We are not in summer yet. So be sure you will, unless we're debuting something here, you will know well about them well before we get on a Sunday night.
And for those wondering, first day of summer this year is June 20th. So what Jesse is saying is next week, news from God's Fire coming to you, shooting the shelf.
That's
next week. Tune in. We will have news for you on upcoming God's Fire. Thank you, Kent Pool. Thank you, Jesse. We will see you all next week.
I'm not saying we won't. I just don't know that we will. I'm just saying it will be at least summer before any announcements get made.
Yeah, next week.
At least. So, like third quarter release for Necronominus could be anywhere from July, August to September from them leaving the factory.
I don't know. I just heard summer and next week summer. So, and yes, I did say that anything tiny is cute. So that is
true.
Well,
Len makes little heads.
He does make little heads. That is true.
Sure does.
So other than Godzilla Funkos or Kong Funkos and Kong figures and Rescue Heroes, Mythic Legions, what got you into, I mean, you do some custom, so what got you into customizing?
So that's also when I was a little kid, if I wanted something to look how it didn't, I'd grab a Sharpie and it would be a different color. And ever since then, it was hot glue and clay, and I want War Machine to have a bigger gun, so I'm going to glue the big missile launcher gun that came with the 3.75 inch War Machine on the Marvel Legends, and now it has a giant cannon and
probably
stuff
fires.
like that. Yeah. So when Iron Man 2 came out, the one that I'm thinking of specifically, when Iron Man 2 came out, they re-released some of the 6-inch figures from the first movie in a 3-pack, and it was like a space one, a desert one, and what they called an Arctic one.
Okay.
And it was like this big, bulky, not quite Hulkbuster, but it could have looked like the Hulkbuster. This big, bulky Iron Man suit that I just glued a bunch of guns to call it War Machine.
Oh, nice.
And it was like the coolest thing in the world. Then I was like 12.
Have you dug into any of the 3.0 stuff where they've done like the Iron Man suits and things like that?
Yeah, I have the Igor suit,
Okay.
which is from Iron Man 3, the big hunchback
Right.
one that kind of looks like the Hulkbuster also. Because in that same Iron Man 2 3 3/4 line, there was an Iron Man suit in that that looked very similar to it, but it was like his deep sea suit, and it was this blue, really cool with all these like yellow lights on it. And Igor looked enough like that for me to want to get it.
Gotcha.
And then
what are your thoughts on the 3-0? I know Dorklayer gets quite a bit of those, and he seems to really love them. What were your thoughts on that?
So I have two. I have that one, and then I have, I think, the shotgun armor that I grabbed from a friend a few years back. They're really cool. They're not quite for me. Just for, I couldn't even give you a reason. It's just they're cool to have, but
Gotcha.
it's probably a scaling thing. I feel like they're a little too small.
Okay.
Or at least the one that I got, like the Igor one is huge, and that one works. But I think the other one was a little too small.
Is it more like 6-inch or is it 7-inch?
No, it was a little closer to like Figuarts scale.
Okay.
So it's like that true 6-inch.
Gotcha.
But they're definitely really cool figures if you were curious just to get one.
Because they mix in a lot of like die-cast metal into that as well, right?
Yeah, I think the Igor one, all of his joints are metal, and everything lights up, and there's like metal plating and everything.
Blake saying he has all the 3-0 Iron Man Deluxe releases so far, and they are amazing. So, yeah, I mean, the people that I've talked to that collect those, like some people are very passionate about those. So,
yeah,
I know there's something, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about having a toy that includes some die-cast metal that makes it feel, I don't know, more. I don't know if it's nostalgic for like Transformers or something, or I don't know what it is, but it's like when I feel something that has die-cast metal in it, I'm like very impressed for some reason.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a cool feeling when you take it out of the box and it's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike the last so Transformer I opened, I pulled it out of the box and I was like, wow, the box is heavier than this figure is.
Yeah.
I did have a comment start I wanted to pull up here. Tanya says they will have Trevor Williams on Legion's Ladies this Thursday, which is the first day of summer. So highly recommend Legion's Ladies if you guys are into Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions. It's a great show. Tanya and Amber do an amazing job. So go over there, subscribe to their YouTube, watch them every other Thursday. And, Trevor Williams, I mean, what can you say about that guy? He's just amazing photographer, sweet guy. And, a guy I really love giving shit to. So there you go. But I will be definitely tuning in this Thursday.
Absolutely.
So, I do have to go back a little bit to kind of where the customizing thing started.
Sure.
Because around the same time as the 3 3/4 Iron Man figures, I was really into G.I. Joe. And I figured out pretty quickly that you could unscrew their legs and take them apart and put the legs on different figures. So that's kind of where my popping and swapping lazy customs started.
Okay.
With actually moving parts around and not just breaking stuff and gluing them together. and that, and also that same Kong that I was talking about, the McFarlane, his teeth fell out at some point. So I took just white modeling clay and made him new teeth.
Oh wow!
So it was
throwing some chiclets.
Yeah, pretty. So it's all been a long 26 years of.
So you predicted some of the events of Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah. If you think about it, yes.
Yeah.
So they owe me a check.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I know this is completely off topic, but I got it in my head and I got to say it. I got to blurt it out because that's how my brain works. Do you guys remember Tiny Chiclets? Those little like bags that had you know what I'm talking about? It's like a little like yellow bag and it was like called, I think they were just called Tiny Chiclets.
I have the vaguest recollection of that.
They would have them like in the checkout lane and stuff.
Yeah.
Like little squares of gum.
It was
I
like
haven't seen them in forever, but they were freaking great. I loved them.
They were like the little seasoning pouch.
Kind of, yeah.
Like individual size seasoning packet.
Yeah.
So they could be a bit before my time.
It might be. I mean, it's definitely older, and I haven't seen them in forever. But when I just said chiclets for teeth, I was like, oh, what about tiny chiclets? Those were awesome.
Man,
I must have been a really little kid because I know what chiclets are.
Yeah. These were like really small, like I mean, minuscule. So
I was going to say I haven't seen them in a long time. Apparently, they were discontinued in 2016.
Ah, dang, that's sad. That's sad. A lot of good candies that they don't make anymore. So
yeah, you guys remember Sky Bar?
Sky Bar. I don't know that. Is that a candy bar?
Yeah, I feel like that was a sports bar in Springfield, Missouri.
The chocolate bar, and each like pocket of it was a different filling.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
It was fudge, marshmallow, peanut butter, vanilla cream, which is kind of just frosting.
Gotcha.
And a caramel maybe.
I like those things individually. Yeah. I don't think I could handle that in one candy bar.
Well, that's what it's like. I'm gonna say Kit Kat, but it's not really like a Kit Kat. You're supposed to break each one off individually,
like a caramello. Yeah.
And each little
it's almost like one of those chocolates that you get for Valentine's Day,
basically,
but all together in one bar.
Yeah. But so they I forget what company made them, but they discontinued it, and then someone bought the license, and now I think it's Massachusetts. You could go to the factory and just get them.
Oh,
from the guy that bought the license from Nestle or Hershey or whoever.
Looks like Necco, Necco, was the original owner.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Love me some Necco wafers.
But that like Sky Bar would be a Five Below thing.
Gotcha.
And they were in Five Below for years, and then they just disappeared.
Another one of those that I really like that they don't make anymore is Bonkers. You remember those?
Oh yeah.
They were like fruit chews, and they had like an inside thing and an outside thing, and it was
Yeah, they were weird.
I liked them.
They were good, but they were very waxy. I remember like the texture. Like they were very. It wasn't like gum chewy, but like.
Yeah, it was like taffy, but like really, really chewy taffy.
Yeah, I did like those. Do you remember? Oh, sorry, we're on a tangent, but that's fun. I feel like people enjoy the weird snack tangents and things we get on. Hopefully, we don't name too much stuff that that's before Dylan's time.
No, Bonkers doesn't sound familiar at all, and the picture doesn't look familiar.
They look like looking at them without knowing what they taste like. It's like you see that in a store now, and you're like if you saw one unwrapped, you'd be like, I'm not putting that in my mouth. That looks like.
It looks like
a wax Lego turd with something injected into it.
The picture that I'm looking at, it looks like
heard
a Starburst.
Kind of described like that, but
it looks like the kind of thing that Party City would have in their little candy section next to the Chuckles and all that stuff.
Totally.
The strawberry Bonkers were amazing. Love them.
Just look at this shot right over here.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It looks like a Starburst.
Where'd it go? Like these, if you don't know what it tastes like, it's not. It didn't go with the page. Dang it.
Oh.
But these like.
It looks like either Play-Doh or a Starburst.
It looks like you had some Starburst crayons in a box and they melted together.
Yeah, it was sweeter than Starburst though. Like Starburst kind of has a little bit of
like
almost like a sour to it, and this didn't. Yeah,
cool.
Man, and now I'm thinking. I watched one of the reaction videos I watched the other day where someone watched the part 1 and part 2 of Kill Bill, and they have the Kaboom's cereal in that where she's got her gun hidden in the first one.
Yeah,
and that was my favorite cereal growing up.
Was that a real cereal? I thought that was just for the movie.
Nope, that was a real cereal. I think I keep saying Kabooms. It might have just been Kaboom. But it had it was kind of like Lucky Charms, where it was kind of like the little oatmeal or the oat whatever grain shapes with like little marshmallows, but the marshmallows were tiny little stars, but there were so many more of them.
Yeah, it
And
looks like a generic brand of like Lucky Charms.
But they were their own. They weren't generic. Like they were like legit General Mills or whatever. I don't know. I loved them. And so I lost it when I saw that in the movie, and then she actually
says better version of Starburst. Heck yeah.
The clown from Kaboom looks familiar, but the cereal doesn't.
Yeah, it's weird.
The same way for me. Yeah.
The clown, I don't like clowns. But I got like a weird sadistic kick as a child knowing I was eating the clown's face. That's what the little like the little grain shapes were supposed to be like his smiling face, and I was like,
you know, someone's gonna clip that and put that on their lavender show.
That's okay.
I love eating the clown's tiny face. All right.
Well, you know.
So
Michael Casper.
So this is a toy show, right?
Well, it's a whatever show. What other kind of things are you into? Are there other toy lines or video games, movies, TV shows, anything else?
Snack food, cereals, ice cream.
So I've never been much of a gamer, but I have a very strong attachment to the games that I did play as a kid.
Okay. So
Rampage, the original arcade cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Probably my favorite.
Well, that makes sense with your, Godzilla, King Kong kind of thing. Yeah.
That tied with Primal Rage.
Ooh, yeah. That was a good one.
Primal Rage, there was I don't know what to call it. It's called Powerhouse Studios. I don't know if it's a chain or if it's like a one location thing. It was one of those like the main draw of the place was you do parties there, and it would be like a live game show kind of thing, and they would make you compete and eat pies made of mustard and all that kind of goofy stuff. Like you'd see on Nickelodeon, they'd make kids do like stuff like that. The nose would like snot on you and stuff.
Yeah.
One of those gross out shows. They're like waiting area where you'd like get your pizza and everything and do the cake for the birthday parties. Had all these old arcade games, and they had Primal Rage, and you couldn't separate me from that arcade cabinet.
I had forgotten all about Primal Rage until you just said that. Like, that thing was cool.
That's my favorite game design of all time.
I think I rented it for the Sega. Was it on? Could you get it on Sega?
Yes, I believe so.
I know for sure it was on Super Nintendo because I remember
I didn't have Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
but I remember playing it and being horrible at it. But I loved the character.
Oh, I was never any good. It was just I liked the claymation monkeys and dinosaurs and stuff.
I'm actually surprised they've not. Well, to my knowledge, made any toys of those like that.
No, so Playmates made them at the time when the game first came out.
Okay.
And they reused some of those molds for later Ninja Turtles stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And so I think it's the 2003 Turtles. There was a bunch of like battle packs where one of them came with the Blizzard, but it was just supposed to be a Yeti. And one of them came with Diablo and it was a T-Rex or whatever. But they were painted just similar enough that it's like, that's Primal Rage. So I still have the Yeti somewhere. And it was the Lehigh show. Someone had I think it was Chaos. They had Chaos and Vertigo. Chaos is the red ape and Vertigo is like the cobra looking one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask the guy what he was charging. And then I forgot to go back. And by the time I went back, they were gone. But that's another
would be cool. Is that something you ever thought about doing? Is like customs of those figures?
So that's actually at least the two apes from that game are on my.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool.
Proverbial chopping block,
Well, there is because Chaos looks like he's a baboon or a mandrill.
Yeah. So the designs that they get in that they're like supposed to be cartoony versions of the 33 King Kong. And in that, he has the more pronounced snout, but they do look very baboon-like.
Okay. I might be looking at fan art. I just realized it's a deviant art page, so it might be someone's interpretation of them.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about then, since you say that. A lot of people make art of what they would want them to look like. It's a lot of like, people do it with Godzilla all the time, and they'll make like, what would Godzilla really look like? And it'll be this big salamander that walks like a penguin. And there's a bunch of guys on Instagram now that are doing that with Primal Rage and making like one of them like a snow monkey instead of a yeti, and making it's just different stuff like that, and that's a big part of it.
That'd be a great idea for Storm Collectibles because they do a lot of
I would buy those so fast.
Yeah, that's what Trey said too. Said he'd be all over it. So yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah,
I definitely would.
Definitely on the chopping block.
Nice. So. Anything, TV shows that you're into, movies, anything like that?
Everything's got a theme,
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles 03 was a big one for me growing up. That was the other video game, was the PlayStation 2 Ninja Turtles game.
Okay.
Where me, my brother, and my dad would play that all the time together. So that's like a big part of my childhood. And that cartoon is one of my favorite shows of all time. And when Super 7 makes those figures, I'm going to very reluctantly buy them. And I think they said they're putting them up for pre-order this weekend.
We saw the teaser, didn't you show that?
Yeah, we showed the teaser. Yeah. I mean, someone else shared the teaser, but we did it on OffWorld Friday night. But yeah, looks like they're coming, or the pre-orders coming soon. I didn't see when.
I don't remember where I heard that, so I could be making that up. But I
hear you with the Super 7 thing. That's how I am with the Silverhawks. It's like, I love me some Silverhawks. I've got to get it because I love Silverhawks so much. But I wish like any toy company, not Super 7, was doing them.
Yeah, I hope NECA still does them, because NECA has the cartoon license.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the Super 7s are just going to look like the toys, which is fine. But I have more of a connection to the show than the toys.
Gotcha.
But yeah, a lot of my media as a kid was old movies. Okay. So like Harry and the Hendersons is
nice.
Probably in my top 5 favorite movies.
Oh, I don't think I can talk to you anymore. No, I'm kidding. I was traumatized by that movie.
Really?
Well, my stepdad, that was one of the 3 movies he would want to watch when we did family movie night. So it was that, Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again, and I can't remember what the other one was.
I don't even know what you just said.
Yeah, it says a lot that I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
It's an old Disney movie. The Apple Dumpling Gang was it had not Dom DeLuise. Oh crap. The skinny little guy.
Well, that's not Dom DeLuise, that's for sure.
No.
1975 movie.
Yeah, Tim Conway and Don Knotts.
Okay.
They were these kind of goofy guys. Well, they did a sequel that was just about those 2 guys. The first one was about some kids, orphans or something, Old West. So it was the Rides Again, Harry and the Hendersons, or whatever the third one was. We would just watch over and over and over. And Harry and the Hendersons is a great movie.
Yeah.
But someday in the future, I might give it a shot if I can watch it with someone else who enjoys it.
I'm your guy.
So yeah,
I'll come over. We'll watch Harry and the Hendersons. It'll be great.
We'll watch it in the lobby at Legion's Con, maybe.
I'll do it.
There you go.
Go away. Can't you tell we don't want you anymore?
That's my dream figure, is NECA to make Harry and the Hendersons.
Okay.
I was talking to Joe Vasapolo in the customizing studio a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about, Jesse's seen it. I talk about Bigfoot at shows all the time. That's what I want as a figure. I want Bigfoot. All the Bigfoot. Like I said before, Creature Replica. I have all of those. I want Harry as a figure.
I could see that as a figure obscura. It's specific enough.
And I would.
Oh, look at that! You spoke Joe's name, and he appears.
Oh, there he is.
So,
but yeah, and I was saying to him, after the paramedics revive me, I would order so many of those from NECA if they made it. Because that's one of those figures for me. That and a Ron Perlman Hellboy.
Oh yeah.
Like with modern
Yeah.
articulation and stuff. Because I have the old Mezco, but I want like a fully articulated soft goods. I actually have a custom. It's on my Instagram somewhere. But I made with the V Toys, and it's one of my favorite figures that I have made. But I want like it's one of those things you always want the production.
You want the real thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I have one of the Perlman movie ones and one of the Mignola comic book ones that they did back in the day. Yeah, I would love to get like a modern articulation. Yeah, all right. Here's your V Toys. I'm going to bring this up.
Yeah.
I think this is the one you're talking about. So Joe V, if you're still watching, you're not saying you just want a Harry and the Hendersons figure. You don't care where it comes from, but you'd also love a Bigfoot in
I want
obscura.
Yes. I know that I want Four Horsemen specifically to make a Sasquatch.
Okay.
But Harry himself is one of my dream figures. So that's actually not the one I was talking about, but that is another Hellboy custom that I've made.
Okay.
So that's the Marvel Legends Omega Red. With with a saber-tooth head that I put hair on and put the horns. The tail and the fist and the gun are from the movie Perlman Hellboy.
Okay.
I chopped into the feet to give them hooves, and it's shorts from an old G.I. Joe Sigma 6 figure.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Cool. All right, let's see.
If you scroll, it's towards the top.
Oh, it's towards the top.
It's more recent. It's on a picture with. It's on the Lazy Susan with two other figures, I believe.
Higher up or?
No, it should be high. Yeah, higher up. Let me see. I thought I posted it. Maybe it's a story. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I might just have the pictures in my phone. Hold on, 2 seconds.
Well, Dylan is looking. We got some comments here. Brian's saying NECA needs to make a Harry, Johnny 5, and an Ernest. I'd get a Johnny 5. I don't know.
I would definitely get a Johnny 5.
I don't know if I want an Ernest on my shelf. I mean, those movies were great. That's the other one. Ernest Goes to Camp is the third movie.
Okay.
If you want an Ernest one, you could just get like the more recent John Cena ones because
he looks just like him. Okay. So
I think it would be cool if they made them, but I couldn't buy an Ernest.
I want the trolls from Ernest Scared Stupid more than I want Ernest himself.
Oh, I want a 1-to-1 size box of carton of Miak or whatever it is that the mother's Miak that like scares the troll off at the end or whatever. Did you find it?
Yes. So it's
oh yeah, that's
the
cool.
V Toys, just their standard male body with a head that I don't know where I got it, but someone was selling custom Hellboy heads. The gun is I think from Hottest Fuzz Customs on Instagram. The fist, the tail, and the belt are from Gentle Giant made Hellboy figures for like 5 minutes when the first movie came out at the same time as Mezco, and theirs was a 6-inch scale, so I took the fist from that and I put a ball joint in it, and now you can
nice
do that. The trench coat and the pants are from Rebel 10 Customs.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, those pants are cool.
Yeah, no, she got the pattern really good. She's actually doing the the soft goods for Odious from Unparalleled Universe.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she does great stuff.
Yeah, that Odious looks nice. I'm guessing you backed that.
Several.
Nice.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, that seems right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. I've been urging him to do something a bit closer to my mind's eye, but I know it's his vision, so
yeah,
it's not gonna happen. But yeah,
do they have that on for retailers now?
Yeah, Big Bad should have it
quite a bit ago, but
yeah, Big Bad should still have pre-orders, and then any retailer that bought from the Kickstarter should have them up. I would assume.
Yeah, it looks like it's pre-order on Big Bad right now, $89.99. So yeah, that thing's cool.
And then if anyone's going to be at San Diego, he'll have an exclusive at his table.
Didn't they have on the Kickstarter you could buy it like just the body, like without the soft goods and stuff? Did you do any of those? Or
yeah, I can't remember exactly what I did, but I know I did one regular how it comes with the soft goods, one signed with the soft goods.
Okay.
And probably 2 or 3 blanks.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is for anybody wondering, this is the figure that we're talking about here. So Kickstarter not too long ago. And yeah, this is, I mean, kind of everything that you were talking about. This feels, right in that.
Yeah.
Right
up my alley. A lot of my my customs that aren't Legions are Mezco style.
Okay.
Several different types of hands, pointing, grabbing, all kinds of different hand options.
Yeah.
3 different heads. So man, that's a lot of points there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you just get someone to sculpt you a hairy head for that, and there you go.
That's definitely something that I've thought of.
But again, I know that's not the production thing that we were just talking about.
So that wouldn't bother me if it's as much as a head. This will do. It's just like the body isn't quite bulky enough for what Ron Perlman looked like as Hellboy. I did get the Muff Toys Adam 8001.
Oh yeah,
body in the other day,
and
I plan on turning this into Hellboy also. But he's a bit too big, compared to this. It'll work.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to turn this into a Jason Voorhees.
Well, you could turn the other Hellboy into what's the guy's name from the first movie? The agent that they introduced because they thought we needed a normal person to guide us into the world.
Myers.
Myers, yeah. John Myers.
I would totally. I might get another Constantine, Mezco Constantine, and try to find a head because that would work. But
well, since we're talking, let's dive into Hellboy. Were the movies your introduction to that character?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was my actual introduction. Was the second one?
Okay.
Was Golden Army because I saw the trailer when I went to see Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
And I actually had full circle when the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong came out. At some point, I ended up with a little, like a mini comic from Dark Horse. And in the back of that, there was advertisements for Dark Horse publishings. And one of them was Hellboy. And I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world based on the picture. Because in the picture, it just looked like a dude with goggles on. And I had no idea what it was.
Was it Lobster Johnson?
No, it was Hellboy. It was the Mignola Hellboy, but it was just his face. Okay. So I was like, that's dumb. Why is his name Hellboy and he just has goggles on? I was 10 maybe.
Okay.
And actually, no, when that came out, I'm born 98. So I was like 7 when I got that mini comic. So I was little. And then it took until I was 12. No, my math is off. 10. For me to be 10 when I actually found out what Hellboy really was, and I fell in love with it right away.
Okay.
And I do love the movies. I liked the one with John David Harbour.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name, right?
The newer one, yeah, David.
Yeah, I like it. It's almost closer to the comic. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it's my jam.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I want to like it. I like David Harbour, and I loved a lot of it, but they made some changes that I was just like, I rather you would have done like the first two and just been kind of your own world. Like I didn't like that they turned oh dang it. This is how much of a Hellboy fan I'm blanking on her name. The girl.
See, I didn't know who she was before the movie.
Well, so I saw the first movie
Yeah.
and the second movie, and I loved them. And then when I started working at the comic shop, I got all the like the library editions, like the big fancy hardcovers. Fell in love with it, read all of them. The new one came out, and the girl, she's cool in the movie because like she's like, you know, kind of like the you know, kind of the smart Kraken, you know, British girl. She like punches ghosts, which is just like a funny thing to say, but it was cool in the movie. But in the comics, she was like the most normal person in Hellboy's life. She was like the one person that made him feel like it was more, she was more of the Liz character from the Perlman movies, but like she didn't get into the paranormal stuff. She was swapped out as a baby and all that jazz, and he saved her. Like that was all there, but you know, she was just she was either Irish or Scottish, and she looked more like Merida. So I almost wish that they would have made the character in the movie a new character, because personality wise they were nothing alike. But the Ron Perlman ones were great. I love freaking Doug Jones doing the performance for Abe Sapien.
Doug Jones is one of my favorite actors. Fun fact, Doug Jones was only the body for Abe in the first one.
Yep.
Someone else did the voice, and then he just copied the voice perfectly.
Frasier's brother from the Frasier show. I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about, but I have no idea what his name is.
Yeah, he did the voice, but he didn't want to. He was like, you should just let the other guy do it.
Yeah.
Because like he liked his performance. So he tried his best to mimic what Doug Jones was doing in like the dailies or whatever. Which I liked. So then, you know, when Doug Jones got to do it in the second one, you know, it didn't sound like a completely different character.
Gotcha. Hellboy's my jam.
Yeah, those are fun. I remember I would go over to my buddy Sean's house, and he would get the previews magazine from the comic shop when we were into X-Men in the early 90s, and I would see Hellboy in there. And early 90s me, I'm like, you know, really into going to church and, you know, all this stuff, and I see the word hell, and he's clearly a demon. I'm like, oh, I can't look at this. Like, and he's turned out to be one of my favorite characters of all time.
I was
I'm gonna bring up this comment from Brian Curtis. Just got word from Cullen. We're now at 32 prizes for the raffle.
Woohoo! Nice.
So that has jumped up 12 prizes at least since Friday night when I first heard that number 20 thrown out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool. So then we're talking maybe RetroCon or some other shows this year. Let's talk about Legions Con, because you know we're about to summer. You know, we're really going to start hitting the Legions Con talk pretty heavy, I think, pretty soon. Curtis, not like officially, you know, we don't do the road to Legions Con. We'll let other people handle that.
Our road to Legions Con is every week.
It's pretty much every week. But,
yeah,
we'll at least play it up that we're doing it more going forward. Thoughts for Legions Con, because you were there last year.
Yes.
And was that your first one?
Yes.
Okay. So now that you've experienced one, tell us a little bit about your experience the first one, and not necessarily expectations like of items and stuff, but your hopes and, you know, what you kind of want to experience at the show this year.
So it's a pretty good start for me. I've never really had a ton of friends that were into the same stuff as me. Like, none of my friends collect anything really. They'll watch movies and stuff, but they're not like into it. And then Legions was an even further step because nobody knew what that was.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have, you know, a movie or a TV show or a book yet or anything. So people are like, oh, that's cool. Actually, one of my friends is really into like miniatures. So he's super into it.
Okay.
After the fact.
Okay.
But so going into Legions Con, I had my friend come with me. She ended up being in the process of getting sick while we were at Legions Con. And she was just in the room the whole time.
Oh, no.
I think she went onto the floor for like 10 minutes one day, and then she slept the rest of the time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's rough.
But it was just enough for me to have someone get me there, and then I just went wild. I was lucky enough, and I say his name as much as possible, Chubsy Wubsy. I was lucky enough that he allowed me to help him set up. So I was able to be in setup and talk to everyone on setup.
Okay.
And so I think that's when we talked for the first time for a couple of minutes while we were getting ready and everything. And that's, you know, it was just really easy. That's when I met the Euro Legions guys. That's when I met Chris James, just all these different people during setup. So that kind of made it real easy to get into the weekend. And then I just didn't stop talking the whole time to everybody. And the same thing everyone says, the social aspect, the making friends that you'll have forever, and connecting with people that you knew a little bit online, but really getting to know people. Mm-hmm. And then at the My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me show, Euro Legions gifted me the figure that they were supposed to give out. And it was the signed orc builder from the studio. And like after you made a joke and I repeated it, and everyone called me a nerd, I still got the free figure.
The affiliations instead of factions for Cosmic,
During Jeopardy, I walked to the back, So
sorry.
Hey, you know what? It made it so much more fun. But
oh man,
they crushed that too. Like the other two weren't even close.
Yeah.
So
oh man,
I know the other two like to poke fun at me. You know, the lounge guys and the lair guys, like, you know, that I wasn't catching the right people raising their hand and stuff. But it's like, man, they blew them away. It wasn't even close. Even if I did miss a hand or two here and there, which I don't know that I did, but even if I did, it wasn't going to be a difference.
They knew their stuff.
Yeah.
I want to fully apologize if we did talk during setup. Not if we did. I will trust you. I don't know. I don't
Jesse
fully agree with
mind blank at.
Okay, that I'll agree. I'll 100% agree with mind blank during setup. There is a setup, Jesse, but it's not the demon that.
No, I know. I don't hold anyone not remembering the first time we interacted because it was set up at Legions Con, and I was new to everybody. So it's not like I was someone that anyone knew.
Right.
Yet.
But it's just Yeah.
No, you're good. It was either I know we had talked a little bit during setup, and then I came back obviously during the show and we talked.
Yeah.
I thought I was unique when I asked you something about the bear, and you're like, I've been asked that several times already. Because you had your custom bear with the Jumanji bear.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, so are you gonna remake that with
Vox Machina? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, are you gonna remake that? And you're like, no. And you're not the only person to ask me that. I was like, I mean, I didn't think so. I just think I'm funny.
No, yes, I remember that now. I do remember that. Look, I'm, setup Jesse is different. I just don't like.
Oh, different's a good word for it.
Let me try to think about this for a second. I think compared to what Curtis is used to me, being fairly easygoing and like a, plain
Cuddly teddy bear.
Plain unflavored yogurt, Setup Jesse was a little more stressed out. I don't think I was as bad as it kind of gets
painted. I wouldn't describe you as unflavored yogurt.
All right. I got to call Dave Orkin and Tanya here throwing out numbers. 20 weeks and 3 days until Legion's Con.
Nice.
145 days till Legion's Con. Just say 5 months. Just say 5 months.
I do remember before kind of during setup, because I got set up a little bit faster than Jesse. I got my stuff together and I was able to kind of relax and chill out due to hard work on my part. I was, but then I did get to meet Dylan and there's us.
Yay.
Yeah. So got to snap a pic while Jesse was freaking out.
I was like, who's that behind him? I was like, wait, that's Curtis again.
On the poster.
It's double Curtis. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even realize I had that shirt back then. I thought that was new.
But that's mostly because, I was very chill during setup because I got my stuff set up really quickly. A lot faster than most.
Someone got into the room earlier than most other people.
There's rumors. I don't know about those things.
I walked in the door like 2 minutes after they let us in because I was in the line to get in, and you were already done.
Oh well, I mean that gives me 2 minutes. I definitely can get a lot done in that time. So, yeah, for sure.
So I I won't argue with this. During the day, Jesse is cooler.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I don't consider myself cool, but in comparison, yes, I will agree with that. Because I'm not like lugging boxes in and getting all sweaty. So temperature-wise, I am cooler. Therefore, I'm more relaxed.
Oh, you mean cooler that way? Gotcha.
That's what I mean. Cooler temperature, Jesse, is a cooler Jesse. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, technically.
That's why I wear shorts year round.
I'm pretty much with you.
Yeah. I gotta say, and look, Brian Carver with the slander.
Brian Carver?
Whatever. Brian Carver Customs Lynn. Tales of this situation might be mildly exaggerated. I mean, Brian, does Brian wear glasses? I feel like Brian wears glasses.
I'm just saying.
Does Brian wear glasses?
I mean, he could. I don't know. Tanya says Jesse was amazing to talk with during the show. Yes, during the show, Jesse is great.
Tanya wouldn't
after
have been
the show,
there during
Jesse
setup.
is great. During setup or teardown, man, stay away. Stay away. So that's all I can say. He's on a mission. So very focused.
Business is business.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
He made it sound less than what it was for my benefit. Well, in that case, Brian, I apologize and I take it back. I'm still pretty sure you were wearing glasses and the piece just like pressure popped off a figure because I was trying to.
You doing that, Steph with the catapult. Who's next?
The boots with the fur.
Yeah, apple bottom jeans for sure.
Yeah. I hear they make the world go round. Oh wait, no, that's something else.
No, it's a different thing.
Is it though?
I think so. Pretty sure.
Now he does. I don't know.
Now who does what?
I don't know. Santos said now he does. I don't know what now he does means. I don't know. I'm just grateful for the Rivera family because because of that.
I'm also grateful for them for that.
I have multiple screaming goats. Yeah. The only good part of Thor: Love and Thunder.
I agree.
Wow.
No. Christian Bale was good for the 10 minutes he was in.
They're saying now he wears glasses. Oh, Curtis just left.
I just don't know if I could be on the show with two guys that liked the goats from Thor: Love and Thunder. I just don't know
what else was there to like in that.
That might be.
I didn't say
might
I
be a little
liked
too much
it.
for
I
me.
said it was the only good part.
Well, saying that it is a good part is a problem. Yeah,
Difference of opinion.
for sure.
I mean, we could talk about Blink-182 before.
We could.
We could.
Yeah.
I know a couple of their songs.
Curtis.
Whatever you want to talk about, man. It's your world. We're just living in it.
Like Scotty doesn't know.
Don't tell me that. I'll take it serious.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Apparently, Brian had perfect vision until Mesquite Con. And there you go. There you go, Curtis. Tanya's on your side, saying there was nothing good about that movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The
screaming goats crashing into
tinted glasses.
Screaming goats crashing into a planet that was smaller than they thought. I'm sorry that I like literally laughed out loud in the theater.
The only thing that makes that movie even somewhat better for me is just thinking that the entire movie is told, from a different perspective.
I get that.
From Korg telling the movie, but
Yeah.
but even then, it's still just, that's not good. So it's not good.
I'm sorry, you watch those laughing goat scenes with me and hear me cracking up, and you'll be having a good time.
Oh yeah, I mean, because watching you laugh is fun and would make me laugh, but the scene itself would not make me laugh.
Oh, speaking of watching, are you guys going to watch House of Dragons after we wrap up the show tonight?
I will probably save it for this week while I'm bored off my ass in nowhere, Kansas. So.
Okay. And you said you've never watched any of it, Dylan?
Nope. I think I've seen the first episode of Game of Thrones 3 times.
It's a weird one to watch that many times, but
I think it's just because 3 different people have tried to get me to watch it. And it just doesn't grip me.
I tried watching it while the series was going. I think somewhere it might have been like season 3 or something. I tried to watch it. I just watched one episode at the beginning of season 3. It wasn't even like I started from the beginning, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. And then after it was done, I gave it another shot, and I forced myself to watch a few episodes, and it got really good. I am probably in the minority though that I like House of the Dragon better than Game of Thrones, much better. But I don't think that's a common opinion. So
I've always wanted to check it out, but Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, neither of them has ever really attracted my attention.
You really just hurt Jesse deep to the core.
It's not that I don't want to. I've just never taken the time to do it.
Man, this is embarrassing.
Oh no, I think he died.
No, I'm kidding. What happened? What?
We have this thing at our house when our dog Buddy does something that he's not supposed to and he gets in trouble. The kids will go, "Ooh, we're so embarrassed for you. That's embarrassing, Buddy." And that's how I just felt. I was like, "Oh, Dylan, I'm so embarrassed."
I can appreciate the fact that you saying you haven't taken the time to get into it, where, I think trying 3 different times to start Game of Thrones and not feeling like the pull, I totally get that. The first episode I like, but you definitely need to have the other stuff to but Lord of the Rings, I'm not going to judge you on that.
I don't know what it is that doesn't make me want to watch it more. I think
if I told you there was a giant ape in it, would you watch it?
Absolutely, I would.
Okay, I would be lying.
Well, I think part of it is one of my best friends has been telling me he wants to watch them with me for 2 years, but then won't watch anything I want to watch ever. And it's just little give and take.
So we're going to extend Legion's Con for an extra day, and we're going to do a marathon of the entire extended Lord of the Rings trilogy on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that, 12 hours?
Yeah, like 12 and a half hours. We'll have bathroom breaks.
Only followed by 12 hours of Harry and the Hendersons.
I
will probably start speaking in ape during the movie.
I'll watch 12 hours of other movies. I can't watch 12 hours of that movie. I will watch Harry and the Hendersons again for the first time in over 20 years with you.
I'm gonna say a couple things here, and I'm not saying it to hurt Jesse. I'm just saying it, and it may be a side effect that it hurts Jesse.
Then don't say it.
But I think that the Hobbit trilogy is better than Lord of the Rings as a trilogy of movies. Also, I can understand somebody not getting into Lord of the Rings because the first half of Fellowship of the Rings is one of the most boring first halves of a movie ever in the history of movies. And it's only through sticking it out and watching the rest that you go, okay, well, it gets better. But that first half of that movie is torturous. So there you go.
I've come to learn Curtis hates anything rural or pastoral, as in like landscape. Not
I have come to learn that you say words that I don't know what they mean, like both of those that you just said.
You don't know what rural means?
I don't know what you're talking about. I know what rural. I've heard of like people use that, but I don't know how that refers to that movie or any movies in general.
So rural is non-city,
right? But how is that? Like I like plenty of movies that are non-city. What I consider to be the perfect movie, the only perfect movie that I think has ever been made is Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So never seen that either.
Oh my
god. That one I just never took the time to do it.
I'll give you credit because because of the age difference there. I can totally understand why that might have been.
Don't give me that much credit. I took the time to see Godzilla Kong 13 times in the theater.
Yeah, that one stung.
That's fine.
I'll admit that one stung a little bit.
And look, I don't think the Hobbit trilogy is a better.
I have to disappoint both of you a little bit.
I think it's more. I think it's more fun and more like. It's more fun than the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some technical things about it. Not even the changes they made to the story. There's some technical things that I don't like. That's like a Warner Brothers thing, more than a Peter Jackson thing. But I don't hold that against you. I can take that.
I would say the biggest problem I have with Lord of the Rings is that Frodo is a whiny turd.
I think part of the reason I've never taken the time to watch Lord of the Rings is because how people seem to overshadow King Kong with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And his King Kong is my favorite movie of all time.
For the record, just so you know, the Peter Jackson King Kong is in my top 13 list.
Okay.
Which is a weird number, but that's Jesse.
13 is my favorite number, so he's winning in my book.
8's my favorite number. 8's not enough movies. 10 is average. I don't want to be average. So 13. It's my second favorite number. It's in my top 13. The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy are above my top 13. Anything that is a franchise that I like more than my top 13 goes in what I call my ultimate category.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have the Caesar trilogy as one movie in my top 5.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Are either Galaxy Quest or Princess Bride in your top 13, Jesse?
We've had this conversation, and you know they are not.
Then it's invalid.
No, it's not.
So, yeah.
It's my top 13, not your top 13.
Yeah, that's an invalid list. Sorry.
Favorite movies, not best movies ever made.
That's fair.
I think we've had many discussions about Galaxy Quest where I know that is a favorite movie of yours.
It is. It's just not in my top 13.
Yeah, I disagree. I was trying to keep a straight face, and then Darla's laughing over there, and she made me break character. Damn it!
What?
So-
You're putting on character?
Out of curiosity, I'll say mine, but what are your 5 favorite movies each?
Okay, I got to answer this quick. Frodo is way whinier of a turd than Bilbo, like by far. It's not even close. Now, Bilbo does have his whiny moments, but not near as much as Frodo. Frodo, oh, I can't do this. How am I gonna? I'm just a hobbit. And like, just shut up. Just shut up. I don't even want to hear it. Like, why are you even in this movie? Like,
Steven?
just give the ring to somebody that can actually like defend themselves and isn't a whiny turd. Like, it just, yeah. Anyway.
Jesse, I'm glad we were on the same wavelength with that. I thought the same thing.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that was definitely you got possessed by the spirit of Bashadi for a moment there.
No, I'm not a Frodo guy. I don't like him.
Fine. That's fine. But
I think that actor is terrible too.
Oh, all right.
Well, I think with both of your perspectives, I may be able to watch that trilogy.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, my favorite character in The Lord of the Rings is Sam. He's
great.
Sam
amazing.
is the GOAT. I like Frodo, but I like Sam way better.
Yeah, Elijah Wood's terrible.
Oh, I should also say I've never seen more than Chamber of Secrets for Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
I've seen all those just to say that I've seen them, but they don't do a lot for me.
Yeah, the only one I've seen is Chamber of Secrets in Spanish.
I liked them more a few years ago.
It's fair.
Okay.
I mean, I still like them, but
did they rewrite the movies in the last few years?
No. Just I tried to separate the art from the artist with a lot of things, but sometimes artists just keep opening their mouths.
Yeah.
And when no one's asking.
I mean, that's the same with singers or actors or anything like.
That's why I mean artists, like everybody. Yeah, that's why I try to ignore what people say off screen as much as possible, or when it's not related to their stuff. But anyway, top 5 movies, not counting my ultimates. Braveheart, Coco.
Who?
Coco.
Never finished that one.
Never heard of that one.
You've heard of it because we talked about it on Friday night.
Oh yeah, that's the one I never heard of, that Friday night. So now I've heard of it once, but still don't know what it is.
Greatest Showman.
Okay.
Gladiator and Fifth Element.
Okay. Curtis.
I would say Princess Bride, definitely. A Knight's Tale. Galaxy Quest. This is no particular order. I'm just naming the first 5 that come to my head. Those 3 for sure. I would probably put the first Matrix movie up there. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure about number 5. Man, I'd have to think about that. I don't know. Come back to me. You go ahead, Dylan.
No particular order except for King Kong at number 1. But King Kong 2005, Harry and the Hendersons, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Hellboy, and The Crow. Hellboy 2.
Okay. Nice. That's a nice spread.
Yeah. I would probably go for my number 5. Probably go Flash Gordon.
Okay.
Number 5.
Okay.
So, Kevin says no Raiders. No. I mean, I do like the football team, the Raiders, but if you're talking about a movie that has the word Raiders in it, no, that's not good. So
that would not land for me. That wouldn't land in my top list because it's a franchise. It's a series. So,
yeah.
Did you?
It wouldn't land for me because it's not a good movie. And Last Crusade is the only good movie out of that universe. So
Oh, man, everybody wants to pick fights tonight.
That second one really.
What do you think of
man? That Temple of Doom is God.
I'll watch Temple 5 times before I watch Crystal Skull.
I can't watch that. The whole ripping the heart out thing is like, yeah, no, can't do that.
Dylan, you were asking something.
Oh yeah, what do you think of the newest one?
The new Indy?
Yeah,
I thought it was fun. It was a little sad. Just seeing, Indy kind of in the position he is in the movie, just like old and abandoned, and it's like, stop making all my heroes like horrible losers. Like,
yeah.
Like you can't do it to Luke, Han, and Indy, and like, yeah. But I like it's. I liked it better than Crystal Skull. I might like it better than Temple of Doom, just because I'm with Kurt. I don't like those parts of that movie. But like Indy is and the screaming.
The bugs of Temple of Doom. Oh my gosh. No. If I was that chick in that movie, they would have died. Because I am not sticking my hand in there to turn that thing to save them. They're done. Okay, they are done.
Yeah, no, well, now I got to go watch like an hour of goat videos because now I have those bugs in my head.
So gross. Oh,
it is. But I like him in Short Round. Like him, Harrison Ford in his prime in those movies as Indy outweighs those other things for me. Whereas him being older, like I'm glad he went for it, but it's yeah.
Another hot take. Don't like Short Round. I don't. I think he's terrible in Goonies as well. It ruins Goonies for me. He's no good. So Goonies is no Monster Squad. That's what I'll say.
I agree with that 100%.
I do too, but not in the same way you're saying it.
No, I just agree that Monster Squad is the better movie.
No, I'm disagreeing with that. You guys, I'm glad you guys are agreeing. I liked Monster Squad, but not as much as Goonies. But I only saw Monster Squad in the past year, so I don't have almost.
Yeah, if you would have grown up with it, you would have realized that Goonies is terrible and Monster Squad is great.
Don't know if I would have realized that, but
that's another one of my things: the Universal Monsters.
Yeah, that is my version of Universal Monsters. Yeah. I never went back and watched all that black and white stuff, and yeah.
I posted a picture like maybe 2-3 hours ago of a bunch of Hitman stuff. And
what's so funny about black and white stuff?
Just the way you said it just sounded so like, the founding, some of the foundational films that created the film industry.
I just can't deal with black and white. It's just,
33 King Kong, in my opinion, is the best movie ever made. Technologically.
It's yeah. I mean,
I don't know any of those movies.
I
you ever seen the original King Kong, Curtis?
I don't think so. I saw King Kong versus Godzilla, the old one. That's good. I like that one. That's a good one.
That's a core memory movie for me.
Where they're like, we got Godzilla tearing stuff up. What are we going to do? Oh, well, let's go to this island and grab King Kong and unleash him on the city as well and have him fight Godzilla. This is a great idea. There's definitely no extra collateral damage that's going to happen from this.
I just want to say I'm not going to say that out loud. That's going to come out wrong.
It's no more realistic than giving Kong a power glove.
Yeah, but I thought it was great, though. I loved that movie.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I watched a few years ago with some friends here in my apartment, and it was core memory for the experience of watching it with them because we kind of mystery science theatered it the whole time. And we, like, one of the guys went, you think I laugh? One of the guys like went into this giggle fit, and I thought he was gonna like have like a full on asthma attack on the floor of my apartment. Well, now, Joe, like we don't have to be Jesse is right.
Okay, I did watch that. It's okay.
Casablanca, Citizen Kane do nothing for me. I was forced to watch those as a film student. They do nothing for me.
Yeah,
I watched Casablanca in my mid-20s, and I avoided it for the longest time. Someone was like, "Here, borrow my copy, watch it," and I was like, I was wrong. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And again, it's one of those things, you know, like the Beatles, love them or hate them, they had a huge impact on the music industry. And I feel Casablanca is a movie like that. Just like the Universal Monsters and King Kong for sure.
All right.
And one of my least favorite movies of all time, Gone with the Wind.
Ahead. Oh, never seen it. I can't bring myself to watch it. It just sounds.
I'm afraid to say anything now. Not because it might like cancel culture. I'm afraid of saying stuff and getting clipped and used on Purple Gang Gang.
It just sounds so boring. Man, I just can't even bring myself to watch it.
From a filmmaking standpoint, like the things they did in that movie for the time they did it is phenomenal. Like, you know, as much as Star Wars blew everybody away in the 70s, I you know, my understanding, like Gone with the Wind, you know, kind of did that back then. But Scarlet is one of the least enjoyable characters I have ever seen in any story. And I've watched Game of Thrones. I've seen Joffrey. I've seen Cersei.
Jenny from Forrest Gump. Come on.
Worse. I think Scarlett's way worse.
No
than Jenny.
way.
Yes.
She's like the worst character of all time.
She's not great. But at least we get to see some of a redemption with Jenny. I feel like the way Gone with the Wind ends, like maybe Scarlett's gonna, you know, change, but that's when the movie ends.
All right.
But Jenny is the villain of that movie 100%. I
think number one villain of all time. I would put her over any, you know, Darth Vader or whatever, you know, Hannibal Lecter.
I don't know if I can agree with that, just because, you know, all the killing.
I would, I'd put her number one. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, Dylan, it's been great having you. We look forward to seeing you at Legion's Con. I know Jesse will see you at a couple other shows probably between now and then. But it was great having you on, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What are you fiddling with? I'm curious as to what you're tinkering on. Oh, you're posing.
So it's actually your gorilla head on a Kong body that doesn't have a head because I'm having a head painted.
Okay.
And it works. It's actually what I wanted to do with it in the first place.
Oh, wow.
But then this one,
you made the robot.
happened.
Yeah.
Which
I love.
Yeah. I don't remember if I showed you this in the studio, but I gave him a belt with all this stuff hanging off of it.
Oh, nice.
It has like the Arctic bat secondary head. It has a predator gauntlet.
Oh, cool.
As from the Black Chrysanthemum vintage collection figure, and a mug from him too. I need an Iron Man head to put on it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So,
excellent.
Let me put this is what it's supposed to look like.
Kevin, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. But,
I think Forrest Gump. I think Forrest Gump is great because of Tom Hanks' performance. It is a sad movie.
Yeah, it's a downer. So cool. Well, Dylan, we will see you around. And yeah, thanks for coming on tonight. It was a pleasure. We're gonna put you backstage, close out the show. If you've got to run, we totally understand. If not, hang out and we'll be right back with you in just a couple minutes.
Real quick, is there, other than Legends Collector 1321, is there anywhere people can look for you on your stuff?
So on Facebook, it's Dylan Strichartz. I think that's it.
Okay.
Pretty much. I have a YouTube channel that's Legends Collector, but there's no toy content on it. It's music from a few years ago.
Just Legends Collector?
No, it's the same name as the...
Okay. So check out Legends Collector 1321 if you want to check out some of Dylan's stuff about music.
Yeah, it's someone else's music that I reposted.
Okay.
Which is why I know what I was talking to you guys about earlier. Awesome. But if you want to check out some Green Day analogous music, check that out.
There you go.
Beautiful.
All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, Dylan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate and see you in the chats and stuff between now and then, and at RetroCon, if not. Yeah.
Cool. See ya.
All right.
All right.
Oh, was that me? Sorry, you're back.
That was you.
All right. You just if you want to hang out, you can. If you need to go, that's cool, Dylan. We're gonna close out the show here. Thank you everybody for joining us in the chat tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Chris,
we talked about movies and ones that Jesse and I disagree on, and that you'll never see us doing a Wednesday one shot together because we can't agree on movies. Yeah. And
we do. We talked about
some old candy that's no longer available, and a lot of Kong.
Yes,
so,
I mean,
yeah,
I'd say we don't monkey around, but he's not a monkey.
So. I see what you did there. We got another show for them next week, don't we?
We do have another show next week, but I'll just reiterate, keep your eye on stuff in the Cabal. We've got, this announcement coming up sometime this week for the raffle for helping out Ralph Moss's family. We've got the Adventure Party 24 is wrapping up. Hashtag Adventure Party 24 is wrapping up in a couple weeks. Ashes of Agbendor pre-order through direct order through the Horseman is wrapping up in about 2 weeks. And we've got our 2-year /750 giveaway coming up with Jordan in 2 weeks. But next week, I want Curtis to say this name. We've got, go ahead, go prep. You ready?
Yeah. Who we got?
I got the wet the whistle. We've got
Guaisague Echevarria. It's not nearly as good as Anthony's from a couple weeks back on Purple Gang Gang, but so excited to have G on. It is going to be a fun show. Can't wait to talk to him. Yes. He's awesome. So,
and I apologize to everyone I've done portraits for in the past, but I feel like this is probably the best one I've done.
You nailed it.
I just trace over your, other people's pictures because I'm not trying to get recognized for art skills on these. But I'm really happy with the way this one came out. Sorry, Dylan. I know the first pass I did on yours wasn't great. He's shaking his fist at me all right. So come back next week.
We have a plethora of good guests.
You could say a cornucopia even.
You need to watch Three Amigos before next week so we can talk about that with Guaisague.
Cool. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I can't promise I will. I will try.
Okay.
I will try.
Because I definitely would love to talk some Three Amigos.
All right. G, you've got absolutely nothing to be anxious about or whatever negative word you're saying. You don't have to be nervous. I mean, you can be nervous if it's a fun nervous. We're going to have fun.
We are going to have fun. It's going to be awesome.
You were just on, weren't you just on something? Weren't you on Latin Legions or New Mythics or something?
Well, I don't know about those. I know he was on Purple Gang Gang last week. He came on for a few minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, check us out next Sunday night, 8:00, right here on the Just Shelve channel for Shooting the Shelf with Guaisague Echevarria. And me and Curtis.
That's pretty damn good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you nailed it.
We'll be here and see you then. Until next time.
What's on your shelf?
No!